This is how to operate the Model K12 floor scrubber. It's a long video because we go over the entire machine. This is what we do for you when you purchase from us. We send some gentlemen out and they show you how to run it, make sure everybody's comfortable with it, how to store it, how to clean it, how to drain it, change the pads, charge the batteries, the whole 9 yards. So this is a long video, guys, and it's different from what we normally show in that it is a install video instead of how to scrub with the machine. At the very end, we scrub with the machine a little bit, but there's many other videos out there on our social media to show you how this machine runs. Really short videos. Take a look and you can see the machine scrubbing. But anyway, just wanted to let you know this is a long form video that goes over every aspect of the machine. Thanks, guys. You can reach me 209-600-6379. Bill at CaliforniaSweepers.com.
What you're doing. It's got a key here. It should have a spare as well. I'll check underneath later. So, key's removable. That's off. Turn it to on. Now you can operate the machine. It's self-propelled, so you never have to push it manually. It's got two green buttons under the handlebar, one on either side. They both do the same thing, so you only have to press one of them to get the machine to go. It's just your preference whether you use left or right. So you press the green button, it's going to move under its own power, so you don't have to push it.
Yeah.
Let off, it'll stop by itself. There's a speed control here, and it's labeled so towards the tortoise is slower, towards the hare is faster. If you turn it down all the way, the machine won't move at all, so keep that in mind. One of the calls we get occasionally is someone will accidentally hit this and turn it all the way down, the machine doesn't move, and they're, we get a call like, okay, is it broken? So just, if it doesn't move and the machine's on, just move this knob. At full speed, it'll go a little faster than you want to walk. So you can kind of feather the button if you want to do that, or you can just, again, adjust your speed down to where you want it to be. When we scrub, we tend to go a little slower, but you can play around with that while you run it. Our reverse is back here, this red toggle switch, pull it back, machine goes backwards. It's a little bit slower in reverse.
Okay.
You don't have to press anything else. Like any floor scrubber, there's two main functions. We're gonna scrub, put down water, and then we're gonna pick that dirt and water mixture back up off the ground. And that's these controls here, and then this guy here. So to scrub with it, we're actually gonna put our scrub deck down with this button. We're gonna hold it, and you can see the scrub deck going down on the ground there. Once we make contact with the ground, we'll then turn our brush on. So this is just to raise and lower it. It also controls your pressure. The longer you hold it, the harder the machine scrubs. And then this guy right here is what actually turns it on. So now, when we press the green button, it's going to start scrubbing. You can hear the pad going in the front there. We're also going to want to turn our water on. That's this switch here. Without water, the machine's actually not going to do its job all that well, so we need to trap all the dirt on the floor in that water. So we turn our water on there. Now it's going to put water out as well as scrubbing. And then we've got our water output down here. So this turns it on, but this controls how much actually comes out on the ground. It's a manual lever. You can see the sliding scale there, so up is more water on the ground, down is less. This is a really smooth floor, you're probably not going to use much. You can adjust that as you go along. We'll play around with that in a minute when we scrub it. And then to pick the water up, we've got our vacuum here. Turns the back motor on, just like a vacuum cleaner. And this lowers our squeaky. That's what collects the water to actually fill up. And that's all the scrubbing functions, basically anything to actually use the machine, all your controls are right here. When we're done, turn that off, turn our water and our brush off, and pull our brush up. And now it's back in travel mode. If you just want to take it somewhere without scrubbing, you can use the green button again, and it'll go. And it steers kind of like a little shopping cart, but it casts in the back. So it's really maneuverable. You can scrub going forward and back, but you really only want to pick up water when you're going forward. If you scrub up into a corner, what we typically will do is back the machine out, turn it around, stand beside it, and run it back up to the wall, and then put the squeaky down, and then pull the water back out that way. So, but otherwise, it's really maneuverable, so it'll turn within these hallways, no problem. We do have a couple gauges up here. This light comes on when you're actually outputting water, so when you're running the brush and all that. It'll only come on when you've got this toggle switch up. It's kind of redundant, but it's there to let you know what's going on. This is your pressure indicator. So when you put the brush down and you're actually scrubbing with it, this needle will come up to tell you how much downforce you're putting into the floor. And you can see it change as you go up or down accordingly. And then this guy here is your charge indicator. Right now we're fully charged. As you use it, the bar will move to the left side of the gauge here. When it hits 0, it's time to plug the machine in. We do have an onboard charger right there. Standard wall outlet, and it's all automatic. You just plug it in. You'll see there's some lights on the bottom here that tell you what's going on. Basically, if it's blinking green, it's charging. When it's solid green, it's done. It'll shut off by itself, so you can leave it charging like overnight, and it'll be totally fine. Once the battery pack's charged, it'll shut itself off. And then obviously, before you start using it again, you want to unplug it from the wall. And we've got a cord wrap there and some Velcro to hold on to the machine. So it's all one nice package. Besides the soap and extra pads, everything you need to run the machine is on it. And the last thing we've got here is the hour meter. 0.4 hours is the new machine. I think the only demo it's got is the one we did here on it. So. And then back here we've got the serial number for this machine. It's actually on this tag here. And there on this tag, this is unique to this machine. We'll have it in our system for warranty period stuff, and any spare parts you might need to order, you can give us that serial number. This is the model of the machine. It's a Kodiak K12 20R. So that's a 20-inch deck. That's the size of the machine. And then it's an orbital machine. That's what the R's for. This QR code here you can scan with a camera phone, any smartphone. It'll give you a hyperlink to this machine's Born-On page. So all the manuals, operator parts manual, warranty period information, parts, our contact info is all available through that tag right there. So it's actually a pretty handy thing to have. Okay, so to fill it, you can fill it with clean water up here. This black tank is actually your clean water tank. And soap will also go into this same tank. We want to make sure we have at least a little bit of water before we put the soap in there. Preferably you'd fill it most of the way or all the way up before you put the soap in. The less agitation we subject the soap to, the less foamy it will be. It is low foaming soap for floor scrubbers, but still. So you can put a hose in here or here. This is just to keep debris from getting into the tank. And then soap again, same place. We've got a clean water level indicator back here. We call it the Sight 2. Basically, you can see your water level down here. As you fill it, it's going to rise, and once it gets to this full mark here, you want to obviously stop filling it. And then all of the dirty water that we collect is going to go into this green tank here, and we drain it with this hose. Basically, this tank is bigger than your clean water tank. So when you run out of clean water, you'll know it's time to empty the dirty water tank. So unless you're picking up large amounts of water that didn't come from the machine, which in this facility I don't think is going to happen, you'll always have some extra room in this tank. So when it runs out of clean water, it's time to go dump the tank, put clean water in it. So, and you can tell because it'll stop putting out water on the ground. So anyways, you just pop the cap off this, lay it down wherever you're going to drain it. It does come out pretty fast. You can kink it shut if you need to once you take the cap off. Once you get it down to about right here, water is going to want to come out when the cap's on, so just keep that in mind. And then if you need to get into the dirty water tank, you can unscrew this cap here. And you can look down in there, you can hose it out if you get mud or anything in the bottom of the tank. Probably not going to get too much of that going on here, but so that's draining the dirty water tank. And then this is your vacuum filter. Basically the vacuum motor is going to be sucking water and dirt into this tank. This is to protect it from dust and small particulates. And you can see it right at the top of the machine here. So when you see that starting to get really dirty, pull it out of there, hose it off, squeeze it out, throw it back in there. We've got a float valve here. This is just to basically shut the vacuum, the suction from the vacuum off when the tank is full. We don't want it to pull that water through the vacuum motor. So when the tank's full, this little ball rises on that level of water and it'll seal against this gasket so it shuts that suction off. If this guy gets really muddy, and it probably won't in here, but we always talk about this, if this gets really muddy, it'll suck this ball out before the tank's full, just because of the extra vacuum pressure, and then it won't pick water up, even though the vacuum motor's still running. So maybe once a month or so, just give this guy a look. You actually don't need to take it out. You can just pull this cap back off and you can kind of see down in there, and it sits right down in the tank. And you can actually hose it off that way too if you'd like to. So I just pull it out so you get a good idea of what it looks like. You get these thumb screws just snug, they don't have to be super tight. Another important note, this tank has to be sealed to have vacuum, so when you mess with this lid, just make sure you get it back down in its groove. If it's up like that, it's not going to seal and you won't have any vacuum pressure and it won't be water. So conversely, if the tank is, or additionally, if the tank is full of water, it will not pick water up as well. Just that's what that flow valve's for. So just keep that in mind. If it ever gets clogged up for whatever reason, small debris from the floor, again, probably not going to be an issue, but we always talk about it because it's probably our number one call. Yeah, could be hair. So if you get a hairball stuck in here, it's almost always going to be just right here. This hose is connected to your squeegee, which collects the water. So all the water we're picking up just comes right through this hose, through this elbow, and into the dirty water tank. So it's almost always going to be just right here, so you can look down in there and pull it out if you need to, whatever works. The other place they like to get clogged is down here. And again, same thing, you just pull this off and you can look right down in there. If you need to get this through any doorways that this squeegee won't fit through, on a machine this size, usually you can just kind of push it to the side and it'll go through any man size door. But if you do ever need to take this off, just these two screws, just loosen them up a little bit and it'll pop right out. This makes servicing the squeegee easy as well. This is our number one maintenance part. So this front edge of the back squeegee is what is going to wear over time. And you should get some really good time out of this squeegee on this nice smooth floor before it needs to be flipped. But just so you're aware, this inner edge is what wears, same thing on the front, but the back one is what we're primarily concerned about. It's toolless to flip it, and you can use all four edges on the squeegee. So you pop this latch open, the bands will come off, and you just pull the blade off and just flip it around and stick it back on there. That'll give you a fresh edge, and then you can do the same thing. You can flip it upside down, use that edge, and then flip it around one more time. So all four edges can be used front and rear. The blades are unique, so the front blade won't go on the back. It just won't fit. Like, you can't really mess that up, so just keep that in mind. And there's a pin holding the front latch shut so that it doesn't accidentally pop open. Other than that, our pitch adjustment and caster height is set already, and it shouldn't need to be adjusted unless something gets bent or you really run into something hard or anything like that. So, but if it's ever not picking up properly, the first thing we check is the blade being, having a good edge on it. It'll wear flat. It's a 90-degree angle right now, like a nice sharp edge. And it wears flat. It's time to flip it. And the other thing we check is just to make sure it's not clogged up. So that's this guy here. And we're pretty much at the end. There's only a couple more things. So this next thing is more of a maintenance item than anything. We pop this latch open, we can open this tank up. Something you really only want to do when this tank is empty, just because it's heavy otherwise. We do have a cable so that it can't just fall over. We've got a wall chart showing you kind of how to clean the machine. This is a quality assurance tag. This is your spare key here. We've got the manual down here. So there's an operator's manual, like I said, but there's also a parts manual. And again, this is all available through that QR code on the back of the machine as well. These are regular, basically wet cell lead acid batteries. They have caps on them, and they need to be checked at least once a month. You want to pop one of the caps off and just look at the water level in there. Are you familiar with that at all?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Regular distilled water is what we prefer. So if you need to top them off, if you don't check them, 6 months from now, we might be putting new batteries in the machine. These are not that expensive, and there's only 2 of them, but we don't want to do that because they should last somewhere in the neighborhood of like 3 to 5 years. So that's something you need to check. If you'd like us to do it, we can put you on a preventative maintenance schedule. We can come out and do it. We can flip the squeegee and all that for you. But it's pretty easy to do to at least check it. So,
It needs to be done.
so that's that there. You don't have to leave this on the machine if you want to pull it off at any point. Yeah, absolutely. You want the manuals as well? The last couple things we have here are our breakers, basically for the different functions on the machine. This is for your brush motor, this is for your back motor, water valve, and then the main positive and negative breakers. If you have a function on this machine that isn't working, that's the first thing we check. Just to see if one of these has popped out. They're resettable, so if you see one popped out, just push it back in. If it pops in, then we'll want to investigate why it's popping. It's either a problem with something on the machine, or more often than not, it's the breaker itself needs to be replaced. But they're on here as a safety mechanism, so we don't have a short and have any issues damage any equipment on the machine. And then we've got a USB port here if you want to charge your phone or anything off the machine. So, yeah. Run a Bluetooth speaker. Listen to some music going down there the hallway. So that's it. There's really, I know it seems like a lot, but the basic operation is really just the controls, okay? So for this machine, for what you guys are doing, probably 4 to 8 ounces is the most you need to use. You can try a little bit more than that if you're not getting the result you want. So these are 32 ounce bottles. They're marked every 4 ounces. So from the top there's 4, and every line is 4. So 1 to 2 lines would be about what we want to do. There's actually not much water in this thing. And then, how much pressure were you using? Do you remember when you demoed?
About half.
About half. So I'll scrub with it real quick, and then if you guys want to, just to make sure everything's working good, and then if you guys want to run it while we're here, that'd be good. So. That was just the brush and water. Now I'm running everything at once. Should leave the floor dry and ready to walk on pretty much immediately. Double scrub real quick, turn the pressure up. So you can see the floor is already starting to lighten up with one pass. So again, if everything's working properly, the floor should be dry and ready to walk on immediately. If we're leaving streaks, a lot of times, it's just because something's got caught under the squeegee. You'll see a line of water behind it. What we typically do with that is we'll just lift the squeegee up, reverse about a foot or so, put the squeegee back down, that'll clear it out. If you get a lot of them, you can pull the squeegee up and just take like a terry cloth towel and just wipe it up. There's just be like hair, leaves, stuff like that. It'll pick most of that up, but like I said, sometimes it'll get caught in the squeegee. It shouldn't be too much of a problem here because you don't have like those grout lines that a lot of industrial places have where stuff gets trapped. But if you do get streaks, that's what we want to do. Now, if you do have any water left on the ground when you're done, you can run just the vacuum and squeegee to pick that up. You don't always have to scrub, but it is a wet scrubber, so you should never use the squeegee and vacuum by itself to pick up like dirt and dust and stuff. We always want to get it trapped in the water and then pull that water up. And then if you have a particularly dirty area like we just did what's called a double scrubber, I went over an area a couple times before I picked the water up, kind of let the soap sit on it. Or maybe the first time you clean this place, you could do like a square area, let the soap sit on it, and then pick the water up, just to get the floor back to like really clean. Now that you've got a tool that's capable of getting it there. Then from there, it's maintenance where you run the brush and the water and the vacuum all at once, and you can get it done pretty fast. So, but it's up to you guys how you do it. We ran it at full pressure just now, and it's not hurting the floor or anything, so you can really play around with that if you'd like. You can adjust it while you're moving as well. So, oh, you want to go? That is actually one of the advantages of this type of machine. Not having like the shroud on the side of it, we can get right up against the wall. And it's got wheels on the scrub deck and the squeegee. can run along the wall just fine. So like I said, when you're done, if you've got any water left, you just